Welcome back to Knack, and we're doing chapter 4-2.
Some December. Get it?
Alright, so this is the stealth level of sorts.
So
just avoid the searchlights. There you go.
So Vargas, you can remote control your plane to pretty much do what you wish. So why couldn't you remote control it to come back to you so you could fly over back to the mansion after Victor's forces ran after you and probably lost sight of that plane unless you're somehow still piloting it?
Look at a pretty Knack controller.
Also,
Pretty though.
how about that security system?
But it's polygonal. Don't you see all those particles and shit?
Yeah, so
Let's-
yeah, what happens is we have to collect parts of the stealth robots. 20 of them specifically. So basically we have to defeat 20 of these robots so that we can then assemble enough particles so we can form stealth.
You know, Tio, it's funny you bring up the visuals, because a lot of people said, oh, well, it's because this is a launch PS4 title that doesn't look that good. Yeah, and then the sequel came and didn't really look that much better.
I don't know. As I said, the only major complaints to me are the human character design.
I think the problem a lot of people have is like, well, this looks more like what people think cartoony on the PS4 would look like, as opposed to actually looking, you know, proper with the
Like,
fidelity.
for example, the goblins seem to be way more defined to me.
Yeah, and that's the sad part about the humans though too, because the art director of Knack 2 is the same art director from Gravity Rush 2. So
Wait,
what the hell happens?
wait. They actually got a different art director for Knack 2?
Yes, for Knack 2, Japan Studio used the same art director from Gravity Rush 2.
But
So we
the art
borrow
doesn't even
something
look
from
the same.
Pirate.
But the art doesn't even look that different in Knack 2. Like,
And, well, I don't know, Jova.
Well, they
but,
kind of just, I guess.
I don't know, Jova. It's just that in the behind-the-scenes video that IGN has, when the art director is talking, he even mentions that he worked on Gravity Rush 2 before Knack 2.
I get that. It's just like, well, unless I'm missing something, a lot of the characters in the art style look similar in Knack 2 to this. To the point where
My guess is it all has to do with what Mark specifically wanted the game to look like.
Because, you know, it's not like having a whole team give their input would help this game. Also,
Like I said before, Mark works much better.
Or
as an
even quality
employee.
control for the publisher itself.
Yeah, looking at this game, I'm actually looking at this game, and this is the best he can do as a game director. I'm actually kind of glad that we didn't end up getting the Wrath of Cortex that Eve was gonna do originally.
what was that
'Cause
going
if
to be?
if it was gonna be like this, then
Wait, he
Yeah.
was originally the director for Wrath of Cortex?
yeah, it was initially meant to be a more open worldish game, but he had a fall out of Universal Interactive, so he left, and Traveller's Tales did a game like Warped in. It wasn't exactly rushed, I don't think, but they didn't have a whole lot of time.
It sounds like they saved that idea for Crash to Insanity with the open world.
Yeah,
Well, that's
but they
interesting
couldn't
thing, though.
implement
That's an interesting thing though, Joe, but Twin Sanity, while that is a Traveller's Tales game, it was a different studio and a different location. It was Traveller's Tales Oxford, remember?
Yeah. Okay,
As
so
opposed to main Traveller's Tales.
They just have to do it. This game just looks like your generic shovelware game.
which is sad because this was supposed to be.
And you died. Why didn't you use the Sunstone attack?
I know. That's the thing too. I'm trying my best to stay stealthy again.
But
Yeah.
you just got, you know, spotted by enemies anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever. I respawn right the place where I died anyways.
You're
Yeah.
not playing Uncharted. Hey.
It's not
Knack,
like dying matter. It's not like dying matters.
Yeah,
Knack
that.
right back at you.
Yeah, that reminds me. What's the point of the stealth sections with the spotlights anyway? I mean, aside from being easy.
Variety, Joe.
No, I mean seriously
Okay.
though, what's the point? I mean, like Tia said, there are literally spots where you're gonna get spotted anyway because they're in broad light. Like, okay, seriously, what happens if you get caught in those robot spotlights? Is it like an
I don't
instant
know.
game over?
I'm
No,
guessing
we
they attack
just
them.
start. Yeah, we just start getting just attacking you.
Well, yeah. That's
Exactly.
pretty much
Joe
what
has given up at this.
that's pretty much what happens after you hit them once anyway.
Gee, Jova, are you trying to imply that this game is badly thought out?
I mean, seriously though, this has got to be some of the worst stealth I've ever seen before. I mean, you know, stealth that really has no advantage
Also,
whatsoever.
Lucas, you might wanna, I don't know.
Do something.
Yeah. That's just the thing.
I guess
Theo. In
Lucas
these two
can't really
games-
do much. Oh wait, that's right. He has his wonderful wristwatch that has all those gadgets in them.
Don't worry, Theo. Lucas will be doing something in the sequel.
Yeah.
Remind me, Pedro, do we?
But Theo brings up a good Yeah. But Theo brings up a good problem, though. Most of the time in these games, Knack is the one doing all the work, and the humans are just sitting on their asses, waiting for Knack to kill everybody.
Well, honestly, you know what's sad, Pedro?
What?
Who's the one who supplied villains to actually help us fend off the goblins? The villain. Like,
Yeah.
Knack and the villain are the only ones who actually seem to be doing stuff to help people.
Also, Lucas, your running animation is horrible.
Also,
Well, I guess well, this continues the tradition of going to having a game where your companion, despite going everywhere, does not actually alert the enemies. So.
Yeah.
also, why doesn't Vargas come with us? Because
Well, the thing is, Joe, but the game kind of implies for various points in this game that he's getting too old for this.
so
So
yeah,
I'm guessing he's standing. So I'm guessing he's resting while we do all the work.
yeah.
As if you have even have more reason to understand that Vargas is a terrible character.
Lucas, you can stop kneeling. The enemies are taken care of.
I don't mean badly written, just mean-spirited.
Yeah, no, Vargas is an asshole too, and you'll see for yourself even more as this game progresses. Trust me.
Again, though, here's what I don't get. Okay, you don't want to go, that's fine, but why are you sending your assistant, who is also Ryder's nephew, because the game had to remind us about that, you're sending the young assistant with Knack, never mind the fact that said assistant was the one who got kidnapped by Victor in the first place.
Canon thought there, I guess.
And there we go.
Only 2 parts left.
Oh look, I wonder if that wall is breakable.
You see what I mean? It's like, okay, sometimes it's obvious where you can get these power-ups, but other times they're so gosh dang cryptic.
Whatever. It's you'll only get an actual gadget fully formed in your first playthrough if you get incredibly lucky, which I actually did. Later on in chapter 12, I think it is, I will actually be able to form a gadget in my first playthrough, and trust me, that's incredibly lucky.
So Knack cannot get over
Not
that
that it
ledge.
really matters, I guess, considering the upgrades are minimal.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what I love? When characters can't get up ledges that they obviously should be able to get
Yeah.
over. Maybe ledge grabbing would have been nice.
Sorry, Jova.
Like seriously, even Mighty Number 9 has ledge grabbing. Granted, it managed to make ledge grabbing terrible in some cases, but at least it had ledge grabbing that could sometimes make your life easier.
Oh, great. Now we
Oh,
have to
so
deal
that's
with
where Vargas was. Wait, how did he get ahead of us?
He just did.
He teleported.
Also the frame rate.
And the robots just let him get away after seeing that.
You know, with all these frame rate issues, this was supposed to demonstrate the power of the PS4 is doing a horrible job at it.
It's literally just to show, hey, look
Fresh
at all these
development.
particles.
Well, Dubs, I can at least assure you that on 30 FPS mode of Knack 2, the game runs completely rock
Knack?
solid.
They
I've
can't
never
even,
say.
they couldn't even get the sequel to run properly at 60 frames per
Actually, they
second.
can,
That's
except
enough.
you have to play it on the Pro.
Knack, remember
That's
what you did with the
stupid.
icicles? I need you to move those crystals
Like,
into your body
okay,
the
look,
same way.
Knack is not really that visually taxing.
Vargas, you're a scientist. You're all about experimenting. You're not a very good scientist, are you?
So, assimilating glass
Didn't think it
makes
was
him
possible.
stealthy?
The arcane energies
What?
in Knack's chest orb can only interact with
With the
hyperdense.
hyperdense material of the relics.
Yeah, who the
Yes,
hell?
it's
Okay, can you
possible.
possibly explain how you even came to that
Knack,
conclusion that
this
the
next
core
trick
can
might be
only
hard.
attract relics?
I need you to concentrate.
You might want to
and move
explain
whatever
that.
body
How,
you
how
feel
did you come to
thinking
that conclusion?
into the crystals.
Also,
Experimenting,
Leave the relics
and
behind.
this is like a novelty to him.
I don't know. Again, the game never tells us. So I don't know. There you go. Stealth Knack.
also, didn't the core also, you know...
I love how this
How
score's
cute.
like,
Very
Also,
nice.
didn't the core literally attract
I want you to
ice?
get through those laser
What, were
beams.
there ice
Shut them down.
relics?
I don't know. Okay, chapter 4 free.
Hey,
Go
you got
for
a
it.
trophy. Professional
Professional.
intruder.
There you go, Joe, but that's your reward
The
for not
beams
getting
detect
caught.
you.
A trophy.
You'll be destroyed.
Anyway, here's how Stealth Knack works. He gets past lasers. That's it. That's all Stealth Knack does.
Never mind the fact that... Wait. So, here's my
You
question.
can constantly press triangle to switch between normal Knack and Stealth Knack. And Stealth Knack is only in little form. You cannot be... Because remember, you have to use invisible
Oh,
rock.
would you look at that? Now you can change your size.
Hey, hang on a minute. What if you have to transform into invisible Knack from Big Knack, wouldn't the stuff you leave over be noticeable to the enemy? Sir, I've noticed a bunch of rocks here. They weren't here before.
Not
Do you think someone's trying to break in?
not only
Metal
that.
Gear Solid logic, Glibs.
Not only that, but gee, he dropped those rocks a long ways away. Yet now, no matter where he is, he can now get the relics that he abandoned from
So yeah, as
any
you can see,
distance
Stealth Knack
whatsoever.
as you can see, Stealth Knack is incredibly situational.
You know, you
And-
think they'd make him also invisible to enemies?
No.
No,
Yeah, that's one thing I don't get. He's
these
practically.
power-ups suck major ass.
So let me get this straight. Stealth Mech is somehow not detected by security lasers, and I forget, are those the kind of lasers that burn through you, or are they just detection lasers?
I think they're burning lasers, if I remember correctly.
Okay then, so it makes him intangible. Somehow. Okay, what kind of material is intelligible?
There you go, see, Mark, you have the character constantly take advantage of his gimmick and change sizes, which you did for the sequel. I wonder why we had to tell you to do that in the...
Again, did they ever actually explain what kind of material this is? Like, seriously, how does it
The
make...
relics?
Oh.
Actually, they kind of do. They kind of already did, when with that flashback.
The relics.
With that flashback.
No.
So there you go. Those
I'm
are the
talking about-
gadgets that you. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm talking about the material that makes him invisible here, like, you know, that
Oh, it's
specific stuff.
pieces of the stealth robots. They established earlier.
But those robots weren't stealthy themselves, they were for detecting you. That's,
You figured that one out.
and that somehow makes him invisible only to the lasers, yet doesn't make him invisible to the enemies.
Sorry, Joe, but after the whole Victor shtick, I've given up on this game making any sense.
Doesn't mean I'm not gonna call out when this game goes further into stupidity. And don't worry, there's still that other thing that I'm definitely gonna have a rant about.
Yeah.
Involving you-know-who.
Yeah, I've already done the volume joke a billion times.
Why, Laura? Why? Anyway, moving on. Oh, that's right. We're still here.
Also, can I talk about how I don't really care for the camera in this game? Hey,
The
you know,
camera's fixed. You cannot change it.
that would be nice if I were playing a PlayStation 1 game, but
Honestly, Joe, I never had any camera trouble in this game. The camera is always pointing to where you're supposed to look at anyway. It's not.
well, the problem I have is, scenes where you sometimes want to try and backtrack, or certain scenes where you're heading out, and sometimes you'll get blindsided by an obstacle that you couldn't see before. Not only that, but this feels like a game that should give you some camera control.
I'm guessing Mark is still operating on Crash Bandicoot logic.
Well, this was supposed to be the Crash Bandicoot.
So, Gus, do you think this game is gonna give Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy a run for its money?
Come back to me. Actually, no. Well, then again, I think Crash Twinsanity in just a few months has outsold both Knack and Knack 2 in their entire
Hey,
run.
Knack.
So
Yeah.
Wow. Crash
sad.
Insanity. Wait, hold on.
No, he means Insane
Crash
Trilogy.
Insane Trilogy.
Ta-da.
How did it feel, Knack?
Like I was sleeping.
What?
It's the strangest thing. Whatever I am doesn't want to be far from this.
Game, don't pretend like we're ever gonna
So there you
find
go.
out what Knack
Whatever
is.
Knack actually is, it feels weird to him to be far away from the core. You're probably wondering too, where are they going with this? They never go anywhere with this in this game. Oh, okay, that's okay. Maybe there's something good for the sequel, right? No, they don't explain that in the sequel. What happens is, Teo, at the end of Knack 2, we have a cliffhanger ending where Knack decides to travel the world to find out just who or what he is.
And
So
believe
you're
it or
gonna have to
not,
wait for Knack 3 for that plot point to serve any purpose.
speaking would say Pedro, since Sony are banking on it, do you think Knack 2's gonna give Mario Odyssey a run for its money?
Yeah, sure.
Like, seriously, I kid you not. That's like the main reason Sony brought back Knack, was because he, for a temporary amount of time, may I remind you, outsold Super Mario 3D World, which was on the Wii U. Congrats! Congrats! And never mind the fact that even that didn't last forever. They thought that they had a Mario killer on their hands with Knack.
Brilliant. All right, let's move on.
The only chance that would have of working if this were released.
Oh my god, that relic.
That worked.
Fractal physics, Java.
Yeah. Oh, look, more sunstones.
It's a shame that they do nothing when you're maxed out.
Actually, it's interesting you say that, Joa, because in the sequel, what happens is if you're full of sun energy and you get more, it's swapped out for experience for the skill tree.
Wouldn't that have been nice to have had in the first game? Like, okay, look. I get
That's
that.
this game's
Okay.
story in a nutshell.
You know, I get early installment weirdness. Like, sometimes first games are gonna be experimental and won't always have the things that make them the best in the original. Here's the thing. Normally, the first games include the basics, like the pure basics, and then improve on stuff in the sequels. This game does not even have the pure basics.
Nope. Again, it took them to the sequel to finally figure out that maybe we should have the ice form do icy things.
So much security.
Also, Vargas, who is supposedly getting too old for this, is actually the one who goes only partway down the ladder before jumping down and landing perfectly fine on his feet.
Consistency, die name is... Yeah. Can't even make it...
Wow, you got killed by that one tiny laser.
Well, I don't... Well, I was trying to break that thing, but I didn't quite realize how. Let me try that again.
Even still, though, I don't think it even properly hits you.
I don't think so either, but... Alright, let's... Oh, there you go.
So now it was breakable?
Even though I looked too short to hit that, I still managed to hit that. There you go. There you go.
So
Now
yeah.
let's get some more sunstone energy. Yep. And
And it seems like this where I really don't care for the
Oh.
camera when you try and backtrack like that.
well, that's
Yeah,
the thing,
I've been-
Jova. You can jump high enough to backtrack anyway. Go ahead.
I've been wondering
Go ahead.
if I wonder if this game would have been more successful if they had just done the stuff they did in Act 2 in this game.
Exactly. It might have had a chance if they. The problem is that this game was, by the developer's own admission, rushed to meet the release date of the PS4.
Because if they did that, then at least the worst you would have gotten is just some moany fanboy going, "Where's Crash?"
Admittedly, there would have also been the story too, because... Okay.
Maybe the story was rushed as well.
This is the thing, Dwebs. The main reason people even know about this game is because of video game donkey memes.
See, again, here's the thing. One of the main draws of this game was being Sony's possible new platformer mascot. And see, here's the thing. With platformer mascots nowadays, they need to be endearing enough. So, in this case, everyone was looking to the story to do that for Knack.
like he's using
You know,
those
sort of
giant
like
relics
with
as
Cat
some
for
kind of
Gravity Rush when she used to be what
Yes,
people
that
refer to.
evil
Is a motor for a
fiend
hover car scaled
using
up
relics to
1,000
create better technology to help mankind. That evil fiend.
How
Let's see what
dare
else we
he.
can find.
You see this, Tail? What have we become?
Hell if I know.
What are you even doing, you fat, lazy piece of shit? I don't see you doing anything with those relics.
I know, right?
You built this personality-deprived piece of crap that
Oh my god.
cannot... What?
I think that, Pedro, I may have just come up with a headcanon for why Victor had to kidnap Lucas. He knew that Vargas would be too stupid to get the hint unless he kidnapped him. I mean, yeah, obviously that's a fan theory, but god dang it, that would actually make sense given how idiotic and dickish Vargas is.
To quote Spoonie, if the characters are this stupid, it's really hard for me to care about them. It really is.
But yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow, having a lot of the improvements that Knack 2 included would have probably had the reception to this game be better. But story, if it were also left unchanged, would have definitely been a problem, per se. Because, let's be quite honest, even with all the improvements in Knack 2, the gameplay is nothing to write home about. It's just, hey, now it's decent. It has the capacity to not bore you.
This is the kind of game that gives licensed beat-em-up games a bad name, even though it's not actually a licensed game at all. It's an original IP.
For comparison,
by Sony of all companies.
Like, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, for as much problem as it has also being a tie-in, at least does give you an interesting enough narrative, and the glitches actually do make it more fun. No, I'm talking in comparison to this. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric can actually have the characters be endearing to you enough with the narrative. Don't get me wrong, the gameplay is glitched up the wazoo, but it at least has the narrative to save it, and heck, the glitches can actually be fun. With Knack? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric also covers the basics and fundamentals. Ugh. I just don't understand why this game skipped out on stuff. Like, seriously, Sony, the joke was that you didn't care about platformers, cartoony platformers, and yet you kind of made that joke a reality with this game.
Here's another problem that I'm pretty sure my commentators have already noticed by this point. Pacing in these levels is god-awful. These levels go on for far too long, and the gameplay is nowhere near engaging enough to sustain the length of these levels. The levels are so unnecessarily long.
And
look, platforming!
How?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
Alright, that's the platforming part. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
if these levels, I wonder if if these levels were shorter, then it would be so bad, would it?
Honestly,
No, I mean, they would still be bad, but at the very least it would be more tolerable because they wouldn't go on for so long. I mean, the gameplay is so mind-numbingly simplistic, combined with the fact that the levels are a bit too longer than they really need to be. It just becomes a very boring experience in general.
this game is like the equivalent of listening to your boss who thinks that he or she is funny, but they're really not, and you have to.
How many parts left?
We have like, let me check. I think it's like 16 parts that we have.
11 more parts of this crap.
Oh, don't worry, Dibs. The story will give us plenty more to talk about, but yeah. Oh, by the way, you may have also...
Remember, guys, we still have the sequel after this anyway, so we have like a shit ton of Knack stuff.
That reminds me, you may have also noticed...
16 parts, yes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
You may have also noticed that Pedro's had to use a lot of the same moves over. Now, again, aside from the combat itself being limited, you kind of have to play safe a lot with the homing attacks, and oh, you're getting lots of relics. That must be the cutscenes coming up.
Gee, Jova. You must be, I've already used this.
Wow!
This looks promising. Bound to find a clue or two.
Getting predictable game.
I think you just want to get your hands on enough of those giant relics to build something of your own.
Well, you're right, Lucas.
There you go, Teo. This entire plot is only happening because of these two scientists can only look at their own egos and cannot cooperate.
Like, you're literally doing what Victor wanted to do.
It looks like
Like, don't get me wrong, Victor kidnapping Lucas was stupid, but he didn't even hurt Lucas.
Until his path was finally
Like,
blocked
just
by
that-
this door.
There you go, that's the door.
Oh
It
yeah,
must have
that
been
door.
very frustrating for him. He only found enough relics to build
That's
giant motor and
stupid,
then
Victor.
no
Doctor.
Yes.
Joe, remind me again which of these characters am I supposed to like?
Oh my god, Pedro, they're literally having Knack say I think I'm the key. Didn't we already have this with the scene with Victor?
Yeah.
There's my chest. There's my head. Victor thinks I can open that door for
So
him.
because Victor thinks you can open the door,
Which
and
leaves
because he
only one
drew
question.
a diagram of your chest, That makes you think that you're the key.
So let me get this straight. Our plan is to do exactly what the villain wants us to do.
There's Victor's old castle up on the
Brilliant.
next to it.
Oh, but this is
Brilliant
wonderful.
strategy.
Time for us to get
So, you know, all this time could have been saved if Vargas just said, okay, I'll do research with you.
This wouldn't have even happened. If these two morons would have actually have a fucking conversation, there wouldn't even be a story.
Pedro, I think we may have uncovered a new bout of stupidity. I mean, don't get me wrong, Victor as a quote-unquote villain is incredibly, astronomically stupid, but these two humans are possibly even more dumb for the fact that they literally do what Victor wanted them to do, but they made it harder for themselves by... Actually, no, Vargas himself made it harder for everyone by just saying no. Anything to say to you?
Give me a second.
Oh, sorry.
I think this game's really getting to him. And I can't blame him, I mean... Seriously! I mean, okay, this game starts off mundane, but then when you peel the layers, it's just... Like, seriously. Never mind who is behind this, how could anyone be this stupid? Like, you don't find writing this stupid that often. Dwibs?
I'm sorry, Joe, we have died of boredom, so I would like to give a moment of silence for Dwibs, since he died, and we're gonna have to look for a new Brit to replace him.
She raised it.
No, well, she has, I mean, want to take Dwibs' place. She already has her place.
Gab's girl?
Unfortunately, she's way too busy nowadays because of work.
Let's think of it.
Alright, cutscene.
Oh,
We caught up with the doctor's plane and brought it down, but it was empty. The plane was being flown remotely. Be on guard. We believe there's still somewhere on the palace.
Yes, we never left.
ha.
What are you trying to accomplish, Victor? Kidnap and mayhem just so you can build a bigger airship? So
Oh yeah, because you're Mr.
Impressive,
Because
Yes,
you're
in another
Mr.
sense,
Nice,
it's
aren't you?
simply
Let's see, you broke into his
powerful
house,
as they are,
broke
there's
his
only so much I
security
can
and
do
equipment
with
and
huge
stuff.
relics. But soon, I'll have unlimited numbers of them. Then you'll see what becomes possible.
What? World conquest?
Nothing so
World.
mundane, I assure you.
Well,
No, I wish his goal was to conquer the world. That would be a more sensible
Could it be
motivation,
you
at
feel the
least.
pull as well?
He doesn't even have
We
a
should be back in
motivation.
the Goblin Village with Ryder right now, trying
He's
to
evil
figure
because
out
we need
where
a
all
villain.
oh my god, the villain's actually pointing out how stupid they are for coming back here.
breaking into other people's homes. Reminds me of the doctor of long ago, before Charlotte domesticated you.
So,
Oh, there
Vargas,
you go. Apparently they have history together,
That's enough.
where apparently Victor liked the Doctor a lot better before he got a wife, because back then he was more adventurous or so. Oh, and by the way, this chick is like evil Abby or
so, yeah.
This way.
She just knocked out the fate. She just knocked out Knack like that.
Couldn't Josh Keaton's kid use his grapple beam to hinder the legs of both 80-80 style?
We didn't think of that for some reason. But don't you see, Katrina... Okay. To her credit, yes, she actually kicked him in the magnet. So, hey, we finally have a move that targets him there. But how is she strong enough to push him all the way down when, again, he's a magnet? Well, okay.
I don't.
Again, the thing is this. The magnet is floating in midair, so at first I have to wonder how the heck the magnet doesn't just, you know, move a few feet away and then just stay hovering there. But,
Look,
does
they're getting away.
gravity weigh it down or something? Also,
No, stop, come back.
also, why are you guys chasing after Victor? Like, you know, you could easily just do the smart thing, like, call the police, report him.
Well, technically Jova Bay busted into his villa anyway, so...
So,
We're
why,
not exactly, we're
What?
not exactly clean, no?
So again, why are they trying to get him in the first place? Just leave him be.
I don't
Well,
understand. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
But don't you see he could be doing another generic evil scheme, I guess.
That's the thing, Tio. He's not going for world conquest.
Every single character in this game is consistently shooting themselves in the ass.
Yeah.
Seriously, all of them do nothing but shit that makes their agenda harder to achieve.
Like, you know, seriously, Tio, you would think that Victor is trying to achieve world conquest with all this, but as Pedro can attest to me, he's not.
Nope. No. He just wants to create relics. He just wants to use the relics to create better technology and, you know, help out humanity and shit.
You know, an actual good thing.
And yet, for some reason, he acts all evil every time he's on screen.
Maybe he just wants to have fun.
There's wanting to have fun, and then there's just not knowing what you're doing. The sad thing is that Victor seems to know what he's doing!
It's abundantly clear that Mark isn't thinking about what he's writing. I mean, seriously.
Oh look, conveyor belts. I wonder where this will lead.
Well, somewhere considered by conveyor belts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
cutscene.
Sorta.
We've got them
Wait,
on the run.
you just repeated the same cutscene of him running down a hallway.
Well, Jova, sorry, but this game is nothing but hallways.
Holy cow.
That's another thing. The level design is so bad.
Again,
There's
they were
literally-
marketing this as a big new platformer. Gone.
That's the thing, that's just the thing, Jova. Remember, for a platformer, we had that one platform section with 3 platforms, and that was it. There you go. You're gonna have to wait for the sequel to get more platforming. Sorry.
You know, they should have just called this a beat 'em up.
And freed.
They're heading for the roof.
Oh
Damn,
no.
they're getting away really slowly.
We'll never
What can
be
we
able
do?
to catch them.
Not with Knack, though, because Knack can't do shit.
Unless people tell him to. Yeah, that's the thing about Knack. Like, okay. Let's compare
Knack's not a
the...
character, he's a plot device.
Again, he was supposed to be the new mascot. Let's see, who came before him? Crash Bandicoot, in all his iconic nature. Jack and Daxter, lovable duo. Cat...
Ratchet and Clank.
Wait, Ratchet and Clank were considered Sony mascots or
Yeah.
something?
It's a Sony IP.
Java, there was during the PS2 time there was a so-called cartoon mascot trilogy. All of them from Sony. Jack and Daxter from Naughty Dog, Ratchet and Clank from Insomniac, and Sly from Sucker Punch.
And then after those came, arguably Nathan Drake, not the most proper cartoony mascot, but he was still pretty great. And then, of course, came Cat from Gravity Rush, who is definitely one of my favorites since Crash. And after Cat, Knack.
Well, the thing is, Gravity Rush is not a platformer, though.
Oh, no. I know that. The thing is, like, well, Cat was considered, like, the Sony mascot.
Not really, Jova, in a sense, but yeah, it was part of a range of IPs, but it wasn't considered. Sony never bothered to have an official mascot.
Oh, I know,
Kratos, I guess, but. Yeah.
I'm referring to what a lot of people considered as the mascots, pretty much. Like, yeah, I mean, to be fair, even Crash himself wasn't really technically officially Sony's mascot, but that's just how a lot of people view him as.
When you look at Mario, when you look at Sonic, their designs are iconic. Incredibly easy to recognize. The moment you know, practically everybody in the world knows who Mario and Sonic are, because their designs are so ingrained in popular culture.
Or better or worse. So.
It's the kind of character design that kids are gonna want to draw in kindergarten and stuff like that. No kid is gonna want to draw this piece of crap. How do you even go about drawing this on paper?
Not only that, but Knack doesn't really have that much of an iconic look. Like, well, because he has so many different forms in the first place.
Like a pile of garbage.
He is a pile of garbage.
Oh no, 4 guys.
How shall we defeat them? Oh, that's right. There you go.
Oh wait, no.
And now robots came out of nowhere.
Hey, it's not, that gate's totally stopping us. Like, really? So, Knack, here's an idea. Why don't you become Stealth Knack, since, you know, Stealth Knack was able to go through burning lasers, so you should be able to go through a gate like that.
Actually, those are metal bars.
Yeah, again, though, okay, seriously, if he can go through actual tangible lasers, that means that he's intelligible when he's
Lasers are
like that.
rays of light. Metal bars are solid components. It's a total different
Guess
thing.
we'll have to settle that
No.
score later.
I mean,
So basically,
But you could argue, say that as Jan Neck could have just mashed them.
that
also
too,
gotta
yeah.
love how this final part of the mansion where we chased them was a complete waste of our time.
Yeah. Anyway, my main
Probably
point...
just wanted an excuse for him to get away.
Anyway, my
Not
main...
just that, but we're back to Little Neck.
Oh, good.
Also, gotta love how he just leaves conveniently the stealth components because he thinks they're not gonna be useful anymore.
Yeah.
Although they should just be permanent.
Trogdome.
Anyway, Tio, my main point is like, well, I kid you not, Stealth Neck is literally intelligible. Like, that's his power-up. It's even pretty much how it's put
More
as.
like he's transparent,
So,
therefore
just
light
to
does not
recap,
reflect on
your
him,
plan
therefore laser
is that we
light
sneak
does not
in through a
reflect
different
on him.
side
That's
of
at
it.
least the
Travel-
idea.
Look, Teo,
Undetected
I'm
through
seeing in the
several
related
miles of
videos
active mine
how to
tunnels.
get the jump
Every
rope
point
trophy in
Knack
Final Fantasy
will
9
open
on
the
the
door.
PS4, even if you do
Oh,
suck.
and we have
Let's
no
check
way
out
to
this
tell
video,
Ryder
it's
where
much
we've
more
gone
interesting.
or what we're up to.
Okay.
Yes,
I guess we could
that's
agree
pretty
on
much
that.
it.
But we can also
As
agree
for the
that that
contacting
power-up is
Ryder
not
part-
explained well in the slightest.
Nope.
Have you ever seen one of these?
Is that a orange? Oh no.
BB-8?
It's a holobot.
Wherever he is,
No,
this
Dwebs.
will find him.
It's
Right.
a
Managed
camera.
to get Lucas
Basically,
back.
he talks to it,
Victor's up
records
to
a
something
video
very
message, and then
strange.
sends this
We're
thing
headed into
flying down, because
Trogdome
apparently
Mine
in
to
this
check it
world
out.
we don't have smartphones or internet.
And it can somehow find Ryder.
And now, into the mine.
Why?
Because this is Victor's mine, and this is where he found the relics.
Not only that, you're going where the villain wants to do his mystical thing, with Knack supposedly being the key. Like, are you trying to help Victor? Because I'm pretty sure bringing Knack there is what he wants.
Counterproductive.
Anyway, everybody, in the next part, we explore the mine.
Goody.
Oh mine. See him.
See ya.
See ya.